Hello to everybody there. Welcome back. Last week, I've shared with you the qualities of teacher. And today, I will share with you the qualities of students, as well as how we keep this golden connection forever. And of course, also about what kind of friend that we need to avoid, and what are the benefits of having a teacher. So this is all coming shortly. And let me say you this, teacher or student, in order to maintain this golden connection, as I mentioned last week, our connection should be like a bee and a flower. Each of them does not hurt each of them, you know. Similarly, I think teachers should never think that I own students. And student should never think that, oh, I own my group. This way, then the dimension of teacher and student golden connection becomes totally different. So nobody owns nobody, but at the same time, we should have this golden connection until we all become a Buddha. That is possible. One day we all become a Buddha. So today our focus is the qualities of student. So now to begin with, Sutrayana student, a student who is following Vinaya strictly, there are qualities that we have to observe. Or observe. I think we need to go further down. Oh, down. The quality of student. Quality of student. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we're going to post on Facebook. This is strictly related to monks or nuns, or someone who someone who wish to be monks or nun. Of course, that one has to overcome. One is not someone who have committed serious crime. One has the permission of parents or the guardians. One is who is physically fit to to take all the duties. And finally, who is someone who is not someone who committed serious crime. And top of this, it is very important to have respect to Khenpo, who conducts ceremony, and we call it Nelo. This is another among the 5 spiritual teacher that one has to have a respect from one's heart. Secondly, and someone who is able to keep their samaya, their precept as pure as much as possible. The reason why we are not able to keep these samayas, there are 4 reasons. Firstly, we don't know. Most of the time, in order to keep precept or samaya or whatever company, we don't know what we are supposed to keep, So it is impossible to keep. That's one thing. And second reason is that we are not respectful, even though we know what to keep, what not to, keep. But then lack of respect, we are not able to keep. Third reason is we are reckless in terms of our nature. So we don't really care, And finally, if our defilement, such as negative emotion, are very strong, then we are not able to keep. So these are the 4 reasons why we are not able to keep. And third, one has to make a lot of effort, right effort, in terms of meditation instead of reciting prayers, your daily practices. This is very, very important. And fifth, that who is very devoted, who make a lot of effort to practice, and basically their personality, their personality is very calm, gentle, always meaningful. And fourth or fifth, we can say who whatever the teachers want student to do, of course mainly about the practice, who listen to teacher, and also who is patient enough when somebody tries to harm or one way or another, try to be not really harm in the sense that makes you angry, discomfort, whatever, you are patient enough. And then most importantly, whatever precept that you have agreed to commit to take, try to keep this precept wholeheartedly. Okay, make sure that you don't commit what you call break the precept. These are the qualities that require for individual liberation. Now coming to the second part, which is the qualities of Bodhisattva student. A lot of students like to take, oh, I want to take Bodhisattva precept. Everybody's taking, I must take, So it's not about everybody's taking, so I want to take. But one has to understand and know what are the, commitment. These are very, very, of course, once you take Bodhisattva precept, then you are not anymore ordinary individual. You become Bodhisattva, Bodhisattva so-and-so, So it is very, very profound. So what are the qualities that are needed in order to qualify to become a Bodhisattva Yana student? Who is respectful, the sutras of Bodhisattva Yana path, and also, of course, respectful to one's teacher. That's very, very important. Second, and who has a compassion. This is the most important. We must have a compassion. Compassion is the most important. That's the second part. And the third, who has this understand very profound meaning of Bodhisattvayana Sutra. So these are very, very, very important. I mean, one has to, one can be so frightened. Once, I said yesterday, last week, we are not perfect. Nobody is perfect. If you're perfect, you don't have to listen and practice. Nobody is perfect. So we are trying to be better. So we have to try our best. We may not have all these qualities, but if certain qualities more than not having. I think that is good enough. Huh? And having 4 means of gaining followers. So this is very, very important. First is giving. Could be dharma, could be honorary gift, food, clothes, anything. This is to build up friendship, or for the teacher to help student, or student to help others. This is very, very important. Second, pleasant speak, which means that the student is able to explain the benefits or the meaning of 6 paramita to others. And then the third is meaningful conduct, which means that and who is able to explain the meaning of each and every teaching very clearly, and who encourage students to practice them, basically to practice, and finally, accordance with speech, which means that not just you are encouraging others to practice, you are encouraging others to practice, but you are practicing yourself. So this is very, very important. And also about 6 paramita, embracing the practice of 6 paramita, such as giving, patience, right effort, and then meditation, wisdom, and discipline. All these are part of 6 paramitas practices, which embraces by learning and all this. So, which means again, who has this patience, who has this courage to even embrace such a vast, deep, profound teachings, part of Bodhisattva Vayana. Okay, this is very, very important. And I think this part is the most important. Whatever he or she embraces, practices, whoever practices, who's doing not for self-liberation interest, but actually practicing for all others, practicing for all others, and one is willing to liberate others in many different forms, many different ways, sometimes forcefully if it's needed, without any self-interest. And then also having this effort, continuously having this effort, because our effort sometimes, at least lacks continuity. Today we may have it, tomorrow we are a bit lazy, next day maybe we can't. So that shouldn't be the case. It should be like there should be continuity, like the flow of river. This is very, very important. And what are the signs that we know I am ready to embrace this path? It means when somebody listen to teachings, the profound meaning of emptiness, per se, who becomes very joyful, who becomes very, wow, that's what it is I'm looking for, so joyful. And if such person, that shows that the person mental content is ripened, karma is ripened, so you are ready. So you have to go ahead with the practices. Okay, so these are some of them. There could be many other. We have to try our best. And I always say that we are not perfect. Okay, so we are beginners. We have to make effort. So slowly we will be there. No problem. It's like a runner. Someone who never runs, maybe even not able to run for maybe 100 meters. But if you keep training yourself, then you are able to run farther and farther. That's just a way of training. Okay. So this is what is important. Now, coming to the third, which is the student of Vajrayana. And I know, like many of us are Vajrayana students, and I think these are the qualities are very, very important. Top of the quality that we just learned. So if we can keep all, that's the best. But we shouldn't look down on any other school. Make sure that we are trying our best to keep this samayas. Okay, now coming to the Vajrayana student. Okay, on top of what we have taken, on top of what we have promised to do, we have to be respectful to teacher. That is very, very important. And again, it's a reciprocal, teacher has to be compassionate to students. So it's a both-way traffic. It's not just, on only one side, okay? And as I mentioned clearly the last week, somehow you follow the wrong teacher with the wrong information, with the wrong judgment. If you find the teacher has more bad qualities than the negative, positive qualities, then you just run away. You don't have to say anything bad, that will again affect oneself. Just run away, and don't even think about the teacher. Okay, that will be the best option. But unfortunately today, what is happening? Teacher or student, they all will go online and criticizing each other, but that is not the right way to approach. Okay, in my opinion. But then I think you are very wise, so it's your judgment. You have to make my opinion, but not just my opinion, the opinion of what the gurus that we follow. And this is second one is most important. Who is able to keep sacred, the view, the conduct, meditation of Vajrayana. This is very what means sacred yana. Sangha means not sharing with anybody who is not up to the practice, who is not aware of Vajrayana. Then you may commit, the individual who may not understand, may criticize, commit a crime in sense of, act of non-virtue. So we should always keep quiet. Don't go and say what about Vajrayana. But today, you see everything in YouTube, everything in on Facebook, showing all, especially showing all the concert data, which is really a very, very serious crime. These are not allowed. Even at home, your tankas, sacred objects should be closed. Only you should see, and of course, other Vajrayana students. It's not for display. It's not a museum. You have to show everything, to everybody. So you will attract many unwanted karma, and also create karma. That's not good. Okay, and also one should not have doubt in terms of practice in Tantra. It is very, very. If you have any doubt, you should immediately clarify it with your teacher. Okay, that is very, very important. And also, who has this, who has this wisdom, profound wisdom, not just to read and listen, but understands the deep meaning of Vajrayana teaching. Okay, and finally, whatever that samaya is taken in order to abandon requires you to practice. So you are able to make this effort. So these are the qualities, they may be not all here, but most of it, and again, we have to try our best. We cannot be perfect. There's no such called Mr. Perfect. Okay, that is just a joke. Okay, there's no Mr. Perfect. Of course, there could be there could be, some, but, to find perfect person will be very, very difficult, Now coming to the, how we analyze, we need to study before somebody takes as a teacher, someone as your teacher, or teachers who take someone as their student, So both has to be very, very careful, And earlier it takes 12 years to actually confirm between teacher and student. That's too long, That is probably during the time of golden age. Today, many times you say teacher and student, even that may last for months. So 12 years is very long, a long time. But anyway, we have to maintain this golden relationship. It is not impossible, It is only how you approach this golden relationship, like a bee and flower. Okay, that's very, very important. So now about about the how you investigate or study between teacher, how teacher accepts student, how student accept teacher. Okay, now coming to the teacher. Buddy and a teacher must first study the student at least for some time, or at least you have to know someone, The reason is because if you just conduct very profound initiation, in big audience, what happens is, the student will be not able to give samaya, because many times students don't know what is samaya, and I came across many times, or I went to receive Chakra Sambhava initiation, and when I asked what are the samayas, well, I'm not sure, I'm not sure. I need to ask. That's too late. Okay. So before you go for such initiation, you have to make sure that what are the commitments. This is very important for the safe side. Okay. Because if you conduct such profound initiation to students, someone who doesn't know anything, then student may break samaya and teacher break samaya together. So it is very important. And it's this will may affect this life and next life. And whatever samaya you have taken, the samaya may be affected, and then again will be again a problem. Okay. And for the teacher, whatever the accomplishment teacher may acquire, longevity, good health, there are many others, 8 accomplishments, it may distance the prospect. If suppose you're supposed to give within a year, then it postponed to many years, and especially enlightenment. Okay. And also you may face with many obstacles, especially when you go for higher tantric initiation, because the commitment is very high. So you have to know before you do that. Okay? And there may others. And now when the student accepts someone as your teacher, without knowing all the qualities of teacher, and if you just go and receive it, so and so giving very high tantric initiation, I must go and receive, and you go and boost to other, I received such initiation, such a profound initiation for such a highly attend gurus, but then without knowing what I'm supposed to do, that would be a problem. What happens is like, without knowing the teacher may deceive you. There are cases, and then you may not able to keep samaya. That would again brings down, bring us destruction or obstacle, okay, downfall. So very, very important. And also it says whatever like the root of accomplishment, it may be and then the wrong teacher may lead to the wrong way, and this will actually affect us daily, that somehow it's not because of love or due to friend, or we have acquired this precious human body, then human body will be wasted. So it is very, very important for one's own sake and the sake of teacher. We both need to know each other for at least for some time, not 12 years. Okay, that will be too long. I will agree that, but at least for some time, that is very, 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 very important. This is actually about teacher and especially root group. Okay, so this is very, very important. So you should now, you always serve online. You can serve online, try to know about the teacher or student, or you can ask other teachers or other students. So, we have to see and then make a judgment. Okay, this is very, very important. So now, once we find the teacher, so how we serve teacher, if teacher always say, oh, you should bring me that, you should buy me that, you should do that, that is a problem. Okay, that you need to see. But when you find a respectful teacher, when you accept someone as your teacher, so how we go forward, to say how we go forward. Of course, without the force from the teacher, whatever you try to offer, okay, you try to offer food or clothes, whatever you want, with that, what we do every time, and every time we make, before we eat anything, we offer, to teachers, a sign of respect. That's one part. And also, like, of course, not every moment, the first time, morning, when you see your teacher, you prostrate, one time, then you don't have to do it every time. And of course, if you have a physical issue, then there's another thing. And when teacher comes, you stand up. That's what we all do, So it is like, we say, dependent, To my teacher, I would do the same thing. To the student may do the same thing to me. Respect, I do the same respect to my teacher. So it is like both ways. It's not just one way, okay? And always praise your teacher. Praise your teacher. And if you have issues with teacher, then you talk to him or her personally, because they could be just misunderstanding. Because what happens these days is like a lot of people throw comments simply through by listening to gossips, so this is not right, because today there's no so-called reservation, whatever they think they just right there say, which is not, correct according to strictly in Buddhism. Okay, and so if there is a reason, you should talk, sort it out. This is very, very important. Yeah. And of course, like like I would do that. I think most people would, do that. I suppose his own is Karmapa, his own Sajjad, highly accomplished, all the gurus. When we work together, we will never jump over their shadows, so we will step back. So that shouldn't be, that should be the case, sort of like respect. And also, like in earlier, when the teacher is so old, physically not well, you help them to do massage, wash their feet, look after them. And as well, it goes with the student. If the student need help, the teacher, there are cases the teacher will help in many ways. So basically, like, student has to be very honest and to the teacher. Okay, that is very, very important. And also, whatever, like, teacher advise students to do, so physically, mentally, you're not heavy. That means, like, you don't want to do it, you don't want to, we don't want to follow, not that kind of attitude, that you become, very respectful, obedient in the teacher says, is to mostly to practice, do something good. Okay, and especially if you listen, contemplate, and practice, and this is the most precious offering to student, you know. So these are the qualities. Okay, this is how we student has to connect with the teacher with these, call it points, keeping in mind. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, we cannot be perfect. Okay? We try our best sometimes. And again, one thing, whatever that I'm sharing with you, this what was practiced in India in the past. This what was practiced in Tibet and still practicing. This what the practice is in the past. It is today, and it will be the same thing in the future. You know, the way, the approach we may change. You know, time to time, country to country, but the essence we can't change. Then become totally different. You know. We cannot say the Vajrayana is Westernized, Asianized, Tibetanized. No, there's no such thing. Vajrayana is Vajrayana, you know. You just need to follow or you just don't follow. That's it, you know. There's not much of space that we can, think about. And that's what it is. It's straightforward, you know. So that's what is done in India, and that was done in Tibet. It's still in every way we are doing the same thing. Okay, that's one thing that we need to know. So, and there are so many reasons, you know, so many positive reasons why, teacher, having teacher, how the teacher can help us, how teacher can help us, this life and next life, you know. So, like honey help the bee, you know. Okay, so so there are many benefits why we need to follow the teacher. So coming to the first part. So who is under the guidance of the teachers? Not, I wouldn't say there are many perfect teachers, but then what I'm saying, if I generalize, not all teachers are perfect. Okay, not teachers are perfect. One time I don't know where I was, and then I told one of the visitors who came to see me, and I said, I'm not feeling well. I need to see doctor. Huh? You need to see doctor? I thought you are Buddha. You Buddha not supposed to get sick. So we are not, not Buddha. We are human beings. Okay, and we all want to be perfect and better and better. Okay, so not everybody is perfect. Huh? So anyway, when you follow the right teacher, you won't be falling down and down to lower realms, because what you learn is Buddha Dharma. So Buddha Dharma is help you to actually help you to attain high and higher and liberal, attain liberal. So you will never fall down. Okay, and also secondly, you will be always protected from any kinds of act of recklessness, recklessness, this how, many times we commit crime, we commit act of non-virtue, sometimes we may know what is wrong, what is right, but then due to our strong habitual tendency or due to our where we are, who we are, how we behave earlier, so we actually bulldoze everything, So this way again, it affects us daily. So teaches us how to be more careful, how to be humble, how to be careful. This is very, very important. And the third part is like definitely with the nectar, like Dharma like nectar, nectar like Dharma. The teacher is able to lower realm or in samsara, bring them to liberation or nirvana. So, okay, this the reason why it is so important. And also, fourthly, the teacher will always, time to time, advise students, what are the, samayas or vinaya precepts or bodhisattvayana precept, the samayas, we call it in Tantrayana for samaya, which are the things that we need to be careful, okay? And then when you know, so you don't commit, today, like many of us, we are so conscious about health. So, then we watch what we eat, not oily food, no fried food, not too much sweet, so no carbohydrate. So, we can avoid so many bad habits and give, then we are able to, achieve perfect health, good health, by knowing. Without knowing, we don't know, so teacher is very, very important. And also, when you follow the teacher, teacher will always guide you how to be better than someone who does not practice, okay? Our physical, verbal, mental acts, so this way teacher is very, very important. And also you become, like sort of like emotion proof or karmic proof individual. You're able to protect yourself from the ill effect of karmas, such as committed through act of non-virtue, and also mostly defilement. These are the dangers that lies within us. We may have many protector outwardly, but inwardly we are very vulnerable to all this poison. Because sometimes when you say, oh, obstacle, devil, we expect someone or something to come from outside with a fang, with a knife, or with the claws to harm us. That's what we always think. But actually, sometimes all this, you may call it whatever, they could be very gentle, but very harmful, more harmful than what you see externally. Like, for instance, sleepiness during the practice. You may think, okay, let me sleep for a few seconds during the meditation. Oh, just a few seconds. That will actually affect us dearly. Like like today, like handphone, all this mobile phones, it's very useful. We can use for very meaningful thing, but then we should always have this time to use, and we should always have time not to use. During the practice, you should just close down, live aside. Otherwise, it becomes part of devil. Every time you meditate, your phone rings again. Your answer, you are driven away from your concentration. So you have to keep aside. You should know the limit and make sure that you're doing the right thing. Okay. And then, of course, when you have the teacher, then the liberation becomes possible. Even to achieve enlightenment is possible. So these are many qualities of a good teacher. Okay. So today, hopefully, I'm not speaking too fast. I was told that I'm speaking too fast, so I need to slow down. Okay. Okay. Now, friend is very dangerous. If good friend makes you a very good person. If you meet with the wrong company, then it can destroy your life. If you follow someone who is drunkard, who always like to drink liquor, one day you will also become drunkard. If you're a smoker, you become smoker. So, friend, you have to be very, very careful when you choose a friend. Make sure, but don't be too careful. Then your life becomes very miserable. Oh, I cannot be good with, I cannot with, and then becomes a headache. Okay? You just need to be just Just careful. That is very, very important. Wrong student. What do you mean by evil friend? Who has this very bad personalities, okay, full of anger, jealousy, hatred, all this thing. First, and second, who lack pure perception. Like, oh, like we're supposed to see our guru as a Buddha. We're supposed to see, like when we meditate, supposed to be this as a pure land. All this. You may say, argue that this is not, but then we train from now. Like a son of the crown prince, before he or she become queen or king, they have to be trained from the young. So we have to train ourselves to see everything in the sense of purity. Okay, so who lacks such a vision? Okay, third, who is very sectarian. You should practice whatever school that you are following, but that you shouldn't criticize. Okay, live aside. Okay, and fourth, who think that what I say is the only right. Whoever say whatever the others say is wrong. There's such many people. I came across such many people. So that is also wrong. That shouldn't be the case. And there are also someone who always like to criticize others, who always like to praise oneself. Okay. And particularly, gurus who are taking the burdens of others. There are people who always like to criticize. So, both student teachers try to avoid this kind of, approach. Definitely. So the reason why we have to be careful, following friend is like Thempa Nyercha. There's one of the sutra called keeping mindfulness. It says that if you follow evil friend, then all the bad qualities will come to you, and therefore not just following them, even talking to them, not even the shadow should touch you. So that means that you have to try to run away from this friend. Then you should have friends. There's nothing wrong to have friends. Okay, I'm not saying that you should close door, to all other friends. You should have a friend, and especially friends who digs out your hidden fault. Friend who say, "Oh, you have some problem with you," who's able to share, because sometimes we don't know what problem we have, but only others see that I have these problems. Of course, when you make a judgment, it also depends on us, because we are not hidden ourselves. Yeah. But at the same time, sometimes when our emotions are too strong, we don't know who we are. We may see faults of others where we don't know that what are the faults that I myself have. So this is very, very important. Okay. Now coming to the obstacle. Obstacle. So what we mean by obstacle? Obstacle here means like who always criticize teachers, who always criticize students, and who do not make effort to listen, contemplate, and meditate. You may meet the people, someone always like to gossip about others, nothing to say, but always thought this is bad, she's bad, they are bad, oh, bad. This is something that we need to correct ourselves. This could be sometimes also due to lack of mindfulness. Okay, so we need to correct not everybody is perfect, but if we work hard and harder, we can be better and better. So there's always space for improvement. Okay, and also who like to make divisive speech, who like to engage in worthless charges. So this will actually becomes the source of attachment, and all this, source of downfall. So we need to avoid. And also for practitioner, of course, doing business is important, and making arrangement for food, clothes, for family, these are very, very important. But at the same time, you shouldn't also lose the importance of practice. Make effort to make sure that we are also practicing. This is very, very important. And also, you know, who is someone always like not present all the time, thinking, mind busy, you know, mind busy, and who is also very lazy. So all these, you know, it's actually, it's not sort of like obstacle. You know, ordinary days, to most of us, when it's an obstacle, we think about something else, you know, something else. But obstacle can be something that we do in everyday life. So we are creating obstacle day by day, okay, on daily basis. So there's something you have to be very, very careful. Now, so how we avoid these this kind of obstacle? How we avoid this? Now, one has to be always respectful, not to teacher, but among teachers, among students, among Dharma brothers and sisters. You know, we have to, you know, we have to make sure that you know, we don't criticize all the time. You know, that is very, very important. And also make sure that, you know, I wouldn't say that you should listen complete meditation all day. That is not possible. That's not what I'm saying. You know, even monks, you know, they are sometimes there are other you know, they may not able to devote, you know, totally, you know, but as much as possible, you should try to find time. You know, if you're using your handphone for 1 hour, maybe at least half an hour, or at least maybe 10-15 minutes, to try to read, contemplate, meditation. That would be good beginning, you know. Okay, and make sure that any doubt that comes in your mind, immediately you have to overcome. How do you overcome? You have to talk to your teacher or your Dharma friend. I'm having this kind of thought, you know, this kind of thought. Why is it? How I can overcome? So there's a way to resolve all these thoughts, because if you live with a doubt, this may lead you lead to downfall. So immediately doubt has to be removed. You know, doubt can create you know, sort of like harmful, you know, you know, it's harmful. So you have to be very, very important. Okay. And also make sure that you are not mentally busy. You know, we complain about the traffic. Oh, Jakarta traffic, or Bangkok traffic, or Delhi traffic, or there are so many things like Los Angeles, or where so many places. There's so much of traffic. Yeah, but then if you look inwardly, the worst traffic is here inside us. You know, and we are basically tangled our thought with all the past event, present event, and future event, which is not there. So that's why you always like so much jam inside, you know? So we have to make sure that don't let this happen, okay? So make sure that you have this armor of all the remedy that whatever that forces that arises, such as anger, jealousy, whatever, you should immediately come with the antidote. Don't let them give space, okay? Don't give them space. The moment you give them space, it becomes stronger and it becomes harder to deal with. The moment that anger or just whatever, immediately recognize that, immediately try to overcome that. That is very, very, okay? So that's what is important. Now coming to the final point, which is about devotion. You know, devotion is very important with the Guru. Devotion is very important to follow Dharma. So basically there are three kinds of devotion. First is called pure devotion, wanting devotion, and convinced devotion. Pure devotion we may all have, you know, when we go to temple, when you go to holy places, when we see someone very, very respectful, humble, knowledgeable, we tend to have this generally sense of like, praise. Have it. Everybody has it, but this is not permanent. It may go away, when you see the other part. Yeah. So this is again very, very important. Second devotion is called liking devotion. When you read the life story of Buddha, when you read the life story of many gurus from different lineages, all the Karmapas, Acharyasonas, all the many gurus, Dugong, Rupa, or from the Imapa or from Kaju Gelug, Dalai Lama. So there are so many gurus, enlightened beings. When you look at their read their life stories, their kadas, we all want to be there like them, like in Kaju say, Paji Builam, but it's like the children is trying to follow the footsteps of father, so like them, we all want to be like them, so that's called liking devotion. The most important devotion is the convinced devotion. How we convince? By listening, through contemplation, through meditation, with all the logical reasoning, and when we are convinced. So when this is established, then nobody can change you. The reason why people become, many are like religion shopper, is because you don't have a faith. You may think, if I follow this, I may get better. If I follow that, I may get better. So you don't have a foundation. Why I need to be here? So when you find the reason, not just someone tells you, but you find through listening, contemplation, and through your own logical conclusion, then you never change. So these are the devotion that we needed. So briefly, I have shared with you the teacher-student qualities and how we go about our golden connection, build up this golden connection. And once we, once we have a student or teacher, how we learn. So I think these are very, very important. But what is happening with all of us is, when it's very important, we tend to take for granted, So we have to make sure that, so I'm going to post this also on our Facebook. And unfortunately, I'm not able to open my Facebook. And I'm using Lama's Facebook. So anyway, so hopefully you learn something. And as I mentioned earlier, we cannot be perfect, okay? We cannot be perfect, but we have to try our best. At least, as I mentioned, one of the four mistakes. Why we make mistakes? Because we don't know. We don't know. When you don't know, then you make mistake. But then if you know, if you make mistake, then you have to be responsible. Responsibility lies with you. Okay, and so I think I've explained mostly about the importance of guru-teacher relationship, and hopefully you have learned something from this discussion. So we will have a question and answer, and for next week, we're going to have, I will let you know, we're going to have a Pardo discussion. I think it's going to be very, very long, probably at least 8 to 10 weeks, Pardo discussion. So I'm going to make sure that we learn rightly and completely, so that you don't have to learn again and again. So once for all, So anyway, I would like to leave it here. If you have any question, please let me know, okay? Hopefully it's clear. I'm not too fast. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, I wanted to let everyone know that I put the document in the chat. So if they go to the chat, they can download your teaching document. So Rinpoche, we'll do some questions now.
Yeah, yes. Can you read for me short enough?
Yes, Rinpoche. So Is it possible to be a bodhisattva without the bodhisattva vows, Rinpoche?
That is a good question, but some may not receive bodhisattva's vows, but some may act like a bodhisattva from their previous connection. That is possible. Why call bodhisattva? The vow with someone who acts like a bodhisattva. There could be many who may not have a precept, bodhisattva may act like a bodhisattva. Possible, yes.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, this question is about if you go to a teacher, you listen to Dharma teachings, but your mind feels still lost and you actually get worse. But then after some time, your mind gets better. Does this mean that there's no connection with the teacher? Or should we still get teachings from this teacher?
So it depends, it depends. It's a good question, but depends. Maybe at that time, are you very tired? Or you're bothered by something, So it depends, it's hard to say, But of course, there are cases like sometimes you may not understand what the teacher is saying. Could be due to connection also, but there could be many other reasons. So just to say because no connection, I think would be not so right, I think.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, is it possible to have two teachers from different Buddhist traditions? Is it okay since they both have Buddha as their teacher?
No, there's nothing to have many teachers, but root guru is just one, okay? Root guru just one. And then also maybe if you follow any teacher, maybe try to follow continuously, and always, even if you go to listen to other teachers, you can always consult and share what you listen, the opinion. I think that will be always meaningful.
Wonderful. Rinpoche, is it possible, if you have a guru from afar, is that still considered a guru and student relationship?
Far, near doesn't really matter. I think maybe far is better. If near, you start to fight. So, if far, there's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. So you can always send email. Actually, we have set up this Facebook page. So next time, any question you can download, you can write into this page, so we will try to answer, So you can always connect. Nowadays, it's very, very easy, Sometimes there are always good benefits being with the teacher all the time. Sometimes could be also a bit sort of like not so helpful, because then you may have a lot of misunderstanding. So you have to see far close to better. Sometimes close, sometimes far. It's always better.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, if a student and a teacher, or a teacher and one of their students is having a clash, what should the other students do?
Clash with what?
Like if there's some disagreement between, there's some sort of problem between a teacher and student, the other students, how should the other students handle this if they're seeing this big problem? No,
so you need to know why, what was the reason? It's just due to misunderstanding. So I think you can, it would be very good if you're a Dharma brother and sister, you talk to the student, listen to what she or he is saying, then you can communicate with the teacher, try to resolve. I think this will be always meaningful. I think this is the right approach. Don't go online and post everything, this will be more harmful than meaningful, helpful. Huh?
Thank you, Rinpoche. And then what if two students are having a disagreement, maybe about business or private matter? What to do in this situation, because sometimes it becomes really political problem in the community.
I think business, I'm not sure about, I can't really advise about business, but what I think is that whatever business that you're doing, risks and everything always involves. So you have to make a good agreement when you begin this. When you become a partner, make a good agreement, and then I think you have to be very honest with each other. Whatever there is something that not clear, not appreciated, communicate. there's always way to communicate, and through communication, they always can bring peaceful, meaningful resolution, or what do you call it? Result. Yeah.
Thank you, Rinpoche. So Rinpoche, this question is about teaching and donations for teaching. And the question is, if a teacher is teaching over weeks, months, for a long time, and then as the teaching is finishing, can the temple administrator ask for people to donate as a token of gratitude for the Dharma? Or does this violate this selling Dharma?
No, I mean, if they willingly want to donate, there's nothing wrong. The centers, they can, they can approach, I mean, it's up to the individuals. A center needs help, everybody needs help. And if it's possible, I don't think it's wrong. It's not selling, we are not saying that, okay, I teach you, give me that's the price. That's not the case, yeah.
Thank you, Rinpoche. And now I'll do some of the Chinese translation ones.
Okay.
Where? Oh, can I refuse a teacher's request when it is beyond my capacity?
Yeah, I mean, if it's beyond the capacity of a student, I think teachers should not request. Okay, that's the first thing. Secondly, you can always refuse humbly, or with a respectful way. If you can't, I think teacher will understand. If one is not able to fulfill that, that is always possible. Yeah. That's why we need to see what is the request. If it's not possible, you can simply say it's not possible. Huh?
And then Rinpoche, there's a question about how to know who is my root guru. How can I know this?
That's a good question, but difficult question. Earlier, there's like in many biography of many great masters, the teacher will say that you used to be my student, such and such and so, how and where, but that is difficult. But now I saw this new trend or new tradition, asking someone to be your guru. But basically, what I think most important, what I think is that, if you follow anybody for a long time, and then, you can take us as a teacher, there's nothing wrong. Yeah.
Okay. I think there's more questions. So, yeah, and this is a similar question, Rinpoche. So maybe I'll just ask this one. Do we have to notify the person who we want to be our guru that we want to be their student, or is it necessary or okay?
In fact, it's not necessary, but you can. I've seen that people asking that. I think it's okay. You can ask. I mean, nothing wrong. Yeah.
And Rinpoche, is it okay to practice with practitioners from other traditions, although keeping the essence of our practice internally? Can you practice with other traditions?
You can practice, but then problem becomes like the lineage, the picture will be different, but you can join occasionally. There's nothing wrong, but you have to make sure that what you're practicing.
Oh,
there's nothing wrong to join sometimes. There's nothing wrong.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, what should we be paying attention to when we are doing Guru Yoga?
Paying attention to Guru itself, Guru, thinking about Guru's blessing. So I think you need to follow the sequences, but most importantly, to have this devotion, unshakable devotion to Guru. I think this is very, very important. And having all this thought of why I'm, practicing Guru Yoga to enlighten myself, and then to with the blessing of Guru, I'm able to enlighten others. Yeah.
Thank you, Rinpoche. There's another question, Rinpoche. Could you say a little bit more about developing a healthy and beneficial relationship with the Guru for the student?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, we need to understand that we're all human. When you are too close, we don't see the precious. Like when I was with 16 Karmapa, Karmapa is like a Buddha. But when you are always together, even though you have so much of respect, it's not just Guru like a fatherly figure. But then what happens is when you're too close, sometimes you're overwhelmed by your emotion, once occasionally that crosses your life, so now when I think back, the longer it goes, the stronger devotion that I have with the Karmapas. Yeah. So I think we need to know the importance of Guru and importance of having Guru. Okay. And also learn about their life story, what they're doing, and basically, as I mentioned earlier, not to think that I own Guru. Guru shouldn't I own my student. Nobody owns no one. That's the problem. Even I'm not sure if I'm right to say that even between husband and wife, you are a partner. You want to be part of assisting each other for whole life. That I think sharing love or whatever. But once you start, I own you, I'm superior, I'm better than, so it becomes a problem. Then this way, all this emotion tend to overtake our golden connection. Yeah. So so having all the respect, we must have a space for ourselves, and basically knowing the importance of Guru, and you can read the life story of Milarepa, life story of other gurus, so you will build up this connection.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, this question is about on the Theravada path. There is a stream enterer and once returner, and these on the path to Arhat. These practitioners, can they turn to the Mahayana? And if they turn to Mahayana and they make an aspiration to be reborn in Sukhavati, is it possible for them, like stream enterer, once returner, can they be born in Sukhavati?
I mean, according to I think Mahayana Buddhism, that even they can be Buddha. They in terms of when they are in terms of realization, they are higher than a person with a path of accumulation. But in terms of because in terms of accumulation, they are not high as a path of accumulation. So they enter, then they become a bodhisattva. They even can become a Buddha. Yeah.
Thank you.
If I remember clearly, okay, that's a long time.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, do we need to always meet and request teachings and guidance from our teachers and guru throughout our life to advance in Dharma practice? Or is it okay to just listen to Dharma teachings online, DVDs, and practice ourselves?
Teachings, there will be general public teaching and specific teachings, and like when you're attending Mondo teaching, then you follow, and then you may have a question you can ask. Then when you have a specific teaching, then again you have a discussion, with the guru. Yeah. So it's not just sitting far away and just that maybe not so enough. Then you need to occasionally connect with the teacher and discuss how to go further.
Rinpoche, this is a question around how to know the different precepts from the different traditions.
I think Actually, there are many books. Actually, I think in Rome Marseille we came across, yeah, you know.
Yes, yes.
So actually, we're coming out this book very. I mean, probably this year, next year. You know, there's 3 volumes. So first volume, I think second volume or first volume, there's explanation of all the different tradition and the precept. I think you will have it. But I think there are also many other books you can go through. You know, there are many.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
But I think if you are following Vajrayana, but at least you should know what are the, you know, Vajrayana.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Was there some more advice, Rinpoche, on this one?
Yeah.
More advice on this, Rinpoche, this one, or?
Yeah. You know, if you're a Vajrayana student, you have to know about Vajrayana requirements. Okay. And then Bodhisattva, you know, when you take Bodhisattva precept, you have to know what are the precepts. You know? So these are there. So yeah, well, I made it also about Vajrayana, just Vajrayana. Yeah. So let's see. Huh?
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, someone on the Bodhisattva path, so Sokulam, Jolam, someone on the path of accumulation, path of application, can they fall back to the 3 realms, 3 lower realms?
No, I think when you reach, I think in a part of application, Soba, you know, the patient, when you reach there, then I think you will never fall back. Sodom Yenso Medowa, you know, I think that's the one. Yeah, Sodom Yenso Medo. When you read that Soba, you know, there are 4, yeah, in the part of application. Once you read that patient, you will not go down. But in Tolam, possible, you may go down.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Oh, Rinpoche, this question is how to meet regularly you in person, Rinpoche, and to get teachings from you in person. This question.
That's a good question. I think in such a situation, I think if you can listen to all these teachings, I think would be good. Huh? We will come with a more teaching, and then also probably I will see, you know, next time when we finish more up, then we will have specific days for advanced student discussion teachings, you know, so we're going to have that, you know, but time being so many together, yeah.
So Rinpoche, this question, Rinpoche, I've never asked Rinpoche to be my root guru, but in my heart, Rinpoche is my root guru because I always receive Rinpoche's blessings and miracles. Should I formally ask Rinpoche to be willing to become my root guru by email when I meet Rinpoche again?
Yeah, you can ask in auspicious day. Huh?
And then Rinpoche, they do by email, or how to do that? What's the best way to ask you?
I think when we meet personally, or sometimes you can send a picture with the email, so I know exactly who I'm looking at, you know.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Oh, Rinpoche, this is a question about receiving empowerment. Does one need to be aware of what the samayas are before they receive empowerment?
I think that's a good question. I think it's very, very important, particularly high tantric. Normally, I don't really just conduct high tantric initiation, but when times comes, you know, I may have to conduct like chakra sambhava, bhaja, all this. But we have to make sure that you know all the samaya. I think there are so many books about this tantric initiation. So at least you have to know, because it's basically when you recite, when you receive such initiation, the commitment is you have to fulfill the requirement, the mantra, you know. Like for instance, like any deity, earlier during the time of golden age, 100,000, second full age, 200,000, third full age, 300,000, and during the time of degeneration, even goes to 400,000. That is actually the requirement. But now, even like you recite million times, like once I received this Yenju initiation, then I've been practicing this for almost not so more than, I think, 10, 15 years, you know. So there's no Sunday for practice, especially the high commitments. Huh?
So Rinpoche, you're saying you should know your commitment before you receive empowerment. But the Samayas you don't know until after you receive empowerment, correct, Rinpoche? Because
basically what happens is any initiation, the commitment, I think you will always, I think there are many like tags that explain what are the commitments. Yeah.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Now, Rinpoche, people are asking for your email because they want to request to be root guru. So Rinpoche, best way for people to contact you if they don't have your email? From Facebook, or what is the best way? Or they can write to the website?
Okay. Yeah. Facebook, because just I'm not able to open my Facebook.
Yeah.
So these few days I'll be open there. So let me think about this. Okay. Maybe you can send me email, or yeah.
Yeah.
And please don't write too long. Huh? Short is better for me, because sometimes when I see like few pages, like I go, wow.
So I think we have all the questions now, Rinpoche. Done.
Any question?
Oh, yeah. Do we need a Dharma protector practice, Rinpoche? Or can we just do Tara practice?
You know, for complete practice, you know, Guru Yoga, Tara, and Dhamma projects are important. Actually, we have a book earlier, so we are adding some and making more clearer and better version. We're working on very soon. We're going to have it, and we have everything. So next time we may also have I will give long, and if you want to follow, you can practice that also. You know, Makala is important to protect yourself from not just externally, but forces, but internally from all this emotion. That's why we needed Makala. Yeah.
Yeah. And Rinpoche, if someone wants to get in contact with you, they can email their local Zomang Kagyu Center as well, right?
You can send me email, or that's why I'm trying to make this set up this page so we can easier, because sometimes too many then I can't handle. So if it's so we will see how. Yeah, let me think about this and come back to you.
Okay.
We
will get the correct email and put it on the websites. Yeah. I think we have
Kawang 21. Is it Kawang? But I will let you know. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we will, when we have the correct email, we'll put it on the website. So Rinpoche, I think that was all the questions. I think you answered all the questions. Thank you, Rinpoche.
Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy that I'm able to share this thoughts with you all. So hopefully you're clear about Guru and student, all the golden relationship. So basically you have to remember that when you follow any Guru, there's a lineage is there, and the instruction in terms of instruction is unbrokenly preserved. The Guru is compassionate. I think as you see the last part of the Guru's requirement, I think this is very, very important. So we will have more discussion, and then we'll see how we go. Okay. Anyway, next week we will announce, probably we're going to have this Bardo teaching starting. Next week or coming week, we will let you know. Okay. So anyway, thank you so much, and have a pleasant weekend. And please take care. Make sure that you keep this what I call physically distancing and socially engaged. because this virus is still around, and I know it affected so many thousands of people, so we are all praying for all of them. Okay, so let me recite this dedication prayer. Okay. Thank you so much.